Obscure Dragon Ball games. It pretty much means hidden, covered up, stuff like that. But surprisingly enough, I found a couple Dragon Ball games that may be obscure, as I haven't seen anyone talk about these games, or if they did, they probably missed one. So today we're going to be taking a look at what Dragon Ball games have been hidden or even forgotten about for around 40 years. Let's get into it. By the way, little disclaimer, my bad if I mispronounce these titles or some words, because I don't want to offend anybody, because a few are in Japanese, so forgive me in advance. So the first Dragon Ball game that I found was called Dragon Ball Dragon Daihikyo, which was the first Dragon Ball console game ever released and created. It was developed and released by Epoch on September 27, 1986 for the Super Cassette Vision console, making it the only Japanese developed Dragon Ball game not produced by Bandai. So pretty much the game is an overhead or top-down shooter that allows players to play as Goku. You would pass through stages while riding on the flying Nimbus in order to collect the Dragon Balls. A Dragon Ball is hidden at the end of each stage, and by collecting it, you do clear the stage. This game is actually pretty unique as Goku can even get hungry. Funny, right? But while riding the Nimbus, Goku can fire a Kamehameha or use his power pole to defeat the enemies or destroy objects in front of him. Food appears after defeating enemies, so if Goku does get hungry, his attack power will decrease and the power pole will become shorter. Hey man, all I'm saying is Goku, even as a kid, my mans was always hungry, and I don't blame him. Various characters can appear when Goku destroys objects, and even Bulma appears occasionally and throws out capsules containing various bonuses for Goku. There will be times by going next to Master Roshi and actually touching him makes Goku enter a training mode, which is a fighting game style mode in which Goku has to fight Roshi by using punches and kicks. By defeating him, Goku's Kamehameha will be powered up during 2 levels. During the second training session, Roshi starts using the Kamehameha himself. We also get to see other characters such as Oolong, Puar, Yamcha, and Turtle appear in the game. In terms of enemies, we get to see Major Matiltron and Ninja Murasaki, who are also featured in the game. But moving on to the next game, what if I told you that you probably never even heard of this game? This game is called Dragon Ball Z Geketsu Tenkaichi Budokai, and before anything, this is not part of the Budokai Tenkaichi series that you guys know, or just Tenkaichi series. This game was actually the first fighting game for Dragon Ball and was released on December 29, 1992 for the NES. This was a unique game due to it coming with a special card reader attachment for the NES, which was known as the Detached Joint ROM system. In order to use it, you would need special cards to be swiped in order to add characters and items in-game. There was no traditional character select screen in the game or any form of a character spawned in. You just had to swipe a card through the reader to send you characters and items directly into the game. Of course, there were various versions of cards for each character, giving them different abilities and attributes. The next game, which is another game that may not sound familiar, is Dragon Ball Z Side Story, Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans. Literally, when I read that, I just thought of Raging Blast 2. Hey man, I don't know. This game was developed by TOS, I hope I said that right, and was a card battle role-playing game. It was released on August 6, 1993 for the Famicom. The player's movement and battle choices were dictated by randomly generated cards, and the game actually sold 300,000 copies, so I guess it wasn't too bad. This was the first game so far to not follow the manga or anime and had its unique story to follow. There were 5 playable characters being Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Trunks, and Piccolo. The main plot of the game is that one of the surviving truffles creates a time machine that brings back old enemies such as Frieza, Cooler, Slug, Turles, and poisons wildlife, which has an effect on the character's key attacks, which would then translate to where you cannot be able to attack. So for the next game, I was told in my deleted Dragon Ball mobile games video that there was a game called Dragon Ball Z Resurrection of Frieza that released for mobile devices in Brazil. I'm not fully sure if the game is still available because when I search it up, it gives me an APK, and once again I'll leave the link down in the description below, but apparently it was shut down a long time ago as this game did release around the same time as the movie. This was a JRPG combat game where you would start off with Goku, Master Roshi, and Tien, then proceed to unlock Vegeta, Krillin, and Gohan as you progress through the story. In this game, you would perform 3 attacks per turn, using each character's abilities such as Goku's Kamehameha, Krillin's Destructo Disc, and etc. Up next, we have Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22, which is considered to be one of the worst Dragon Ball games of all time. This game was developed by TOS and was a 2D 3D fighting game which released on July 28, 1995 in Japan, July 1996 in Europe, and lastly on March 25, 2003 in the US. The game was called Ultimate Battle 22 because it actually had 22 playable characters at the beginning of the game, but later on you would be able to unlock 5 others. The cool part is that when you do eventually unlock the other characters, the title screen changes to Ultimate Battle 27. Cool little touch if you ask me. So in this game, characters have different meters where they would have a health meter and a strength meter, which we'll get to shortly. The characters in here have an array of basic close-up punches and kicks, as well as special attacks that require a motion with the directional buttons and attack input. I guess you can say it does have two levels of gameplay, as you can fight either grounded or in the air. Doing special attacks is what drains up the strength meter, which would then make the character exhausted and not be able to move, similar to how Sparking Zero's gameplay works. When you would use up your stamina and boost, you would just stay there exhausted and your opponent would get a free hit in. So the funny part about this game was that Gogeta was one of the 5 unlockable characters, but people confused him with Vegito, specifically when the game launched in the US, as Vegito was not in the game. Hey man, as a Vegito fanboy over here, bro, this really hurt me, man, but oh well. Continuing on with similar gameplay, we have Dragon Ball Z Shin Butoden, which was the 4th and final installment of the Butoden games. This game was released back on November 17th, 1995, exclusive to Japan and the Sega Saturn. It was also developed by TOS. This game was basically Ultimate Battle 22, as it even reused sprites from that game, and its intro even had recycled scenes from Ultimate Battle 22. They even shared the exact same music, like, bro, why even release the game if it's the exact same thing pretty much? Oh yeah, and it had 27 playable characters as well. There were different game modes here as well, such as the story mode, versus mode, tournament mode, and group battle mode. The story goes from the Android saga to the Cell games, and then you can have a little ending once you complete it. Versus mode was basically just you versus the CPU, or CPU versus CPU, or you could just play with somebody else. Group battle mode was the fun one, as you could create a team of 5 characters and fight against the CPU or a friend. When the winner of each match goes on to fight the next opponent, the remaining life bar is extended by 1/2 of the energy left in the power bar. The winning team's portraits are shown over the match results at the end of all the battles, which is pretty cool. Tournament mode is pretty generic, as it was that 1 to 8 players can partake in the tournament. But there was actually one last mode, and that would be Mr. Satan's mode. In here, you the player would control Mr. Satan, who is trying to raise enough Zenny to pay off his 10,000 Zenny debt to Android 18, so basically a group of 6 fighters are chosen at random to battle one another, and the player gets to bet on these matches. So you would start off with 1,000 Zenny and must get 10,000 Zenny, as that is the end goal. So the minimum requirement of placing a bet would be 10 Zenny, and a maximum of 3,000 can be used. You could even cheat by using several items such as banana peels, guns, and dynamite, but you would have to buy those offerings before the match starts. But when the actual matches start, Mr. Satan is on the right side of the ring and can move left and right to throw things into the ring in order to sway the outcome of the match. My man really out here risking his own life trying to cheat and do all those stuff from Android 18. Hey, I don't blame him, man. Both characters inside the actual fighting stage can be damaged or powered up by what is tossed into the ring. This mode does sound pretty fun, but it sucks that it's only Japan exclusive. So yeah, these are some of the few obscure games that I found online, and if you guys enjoyed, I might even do a part 2, as I did want to add more, but I didn't want to make the video too long. But what do you guys think? What game didn't you know about, and which one was your favorite? You guys let me know in the comments down below, and once again, that's all I had for you guys today. And once again, I'm truly very grateful for the amount of support you guys have been giving me for the past 2 Dragon Ball videos, because I just did not expect that, and I'm truly just blessed, and I'm just very, very grateful for you guys. So once again, thank you guys so much. So yeah, you guys let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. For now, stay safe, take care, and peace.